Hello Masters, and welcome to another Minion Masters video. Today we're going to be covering the content from update 1.4, some of the new cards that will be coming out, and the short season, so let's get right into it. One of the big changes is going to involve the Battle Pass, and there's going to be a change to the cost of the Battle Pass. Here you can see that it's going up to $18.75. That is from $1,500, but the benefits do include 25 more levels to the Battle Pass, as well as some of these rewards here. I anticipate that the Battle Pass is still going to be the best source of rubies, so start saving those up. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new season cards. The Herald, Amun, and the Slitherbound have both already been introduced, but let's take a little closer look at those cards really quickly. There's getting new cards released each day though, so check back on the news section of the game to see these cards and get the preview. And the two new ones that were just released yesterday are the Scrat Storm. You can take a closer look at that right here. You can see there's a couple of different units that come with that. And there is also going to be the Reconator 9000. And as you can see, that's a little bit more of a high mana card. So a couple of costly cards getting added to the roster today, and there's some more reveals in the future as well. As well as the new cards, there's also a short season. It's going to be ending in the middle of the month, and the thing to know about that is level up, save your rubies, and make sure you're able to afford that Battle Pass. That's really the main thing about the short season. When the update happens, a new season will happen as well as the new Battle Pass. Alright, we're going to be taking a look at some new decks today. We're going to look at Power Puff. There are King Puff deck here that's going to revolve around Perk 2. And we're going to be taking a look at For Who the Bell Tolls. And we're going to be taking advantage of Toll of the Dead. We're going to be playing some Loco Volco and taking advantage of the perk number 1. And we're going to be playing a little bit of Double Dragon. No, not the 1980s Brawler Classic, but 2 dragons at the same time with Morellia, and we may not be seeing much more Double Dragon. We'll see what happens with those updates, but could be a little bit of a switch up with that. But let's start off with Power Puff and get started with the match. For our first match, we'll be going up against Volco, and let's go get right into it. And the point of this deck here is to take advantage of King Puff's second perk, where you will either get Shield or Rage on your 4 and 5 cost minions. So the advantage to this deck is that you're going to have a very powerful perk 2, but we're not having too many value cards along the way, so that's going to be the difficult part to manage, is making sure we maintain control of the bridges and things. The perk 1 helps with that. You get to switch who's on the bridge and potentially change ownership of the bridge, so that'll be a big factor as well. We're going to let that Blastmaster get in a little bit closer and drop down these spear throwers to kill it quickly. We don't want to get too much damage in on them. And as you can see, we've got some cleavers and a whole bunch of stuff actually coming on the north side. We're going to just play distraction here for a moment, take advantage of the fact that we have a few swarmy cards in this deck that work very well with the second perk, so you'll see how that'll work out as we go along. We're going to play the Whirly Scrat there at the bridge to get that Sniper Scrat and actually take that all the way to the tower. The nice thing about this tank is it's great against some of the other swarmy decks that you may be up against. So even though the Whirly Scrat's not a big damage dealer, it is sort of a big damage dealer in terms of area of effect. We're going to go with a Scrat Tank with a Fire Imp behind it, and you can see how this not only protects the Fire Imp, but does a really good job of just clearing out all of that. The Fire Imp is great DPS, and we're going to get even more damage in here on that Cleaver before it goes down, but you know, that pretty much took care of the Cleaver as well, so they had to use quite a bit of mana to take care of that. We will take the hit, but we will get the free kill and continue on. We're going to go ahead and do the Whirly Scrat again at the bridge to take care of that sniper and get that heading toward the tower. And we've just hit our second perk. Now notice at the top of our icons, it's going to let us know when you play the card whether it's going to be getting Rage. That's the more pinkish looking, Shield is the pinkish looking one, and Rage is the red looking icon on the card at the very, very top, kind of near where the mana is displayed. You can see that. So getting Shield or getting Rage is very powerful, actually. You can use it to your advantage. Right there, we just missed it, but if you go back, you can see how the Illusory Cleaver can actually push your Scrat Tank closer to a tower. That's really useful to use and can sometimes help with pushes with not only that card, but other cards as well. So that's just a good little strategy to take note of. Here you can see the Propeller Scrats are going to take big advantage of the fact that Rage is going to be added to 50% of the units that we put down, and the Propeller Scrats get an additional 5 Propeller Scrats when you summon it, and they'll be getting the Shield or the Rage as well. So all of those things put together add lots of layers and make perk 2 really difficult to deal with, and it just strengthens all of those units. The drawback to this deck, though, all 4s and 5s, so you're going to have to make sure that the defense that you do play is getting a lot of value for it, because you can run out of mana quickly with that deck. Alright, we're going to collect our rewards and then take a look at our next deck. Next up will be For Who the Bell Tolls, and this one's based around Toll of the Dead. We're going to be using the Shars'Rakk Twins and a few other minions that are going to help us get a Cursed Ascension a little quicker. But the main thing here is we want to get into 20 Spectral Essences so we can get a Cursed Ascension. So that's what we're looking for with this one. Alright, in our next match we're going up against Morellia. And we'll see if we have a similar deck to what we're playing, as those are pretty popular right now. And for this deck, I recommend moning up as much as possible at the beginning of the match. It can really be difficult to defend if you overextend too much, and there's some expensive cards, so that mana management's a big part of how we're going to play. Alright, so we've played a Toll of the Dead, we're going to play the Shars'Rakk Twins, and we just talked about making sure that we have some mana to back up what we're going to do, and we're going to do exactly that. We're going to wait till we hit almost 10, and then we're going to play those, and we want to do that as often as possible. The Twins can go wrong for you when you leave yourself out of mana and no way to defend them, because they're both counterable, but we can add layers to their defense and protect them better if we just give ourselves a little bit of mana right there. That's going to be something you want to avoid also if you have heavy defense. That may not be a time to play them. Like right here wouldn't be a time I would want to play the Shars'Rakk Twins, just because there's so much here. We would want to spend our mana differently. Alright, so here you can see we did Toll of the Dead. Instead, we're going to fireball everything and then just kind of take care of things individually. This is a good spot for a Dragon Whelp to just kind of clean up. We're going to block the Blastmancer right there a little bit and get some damage in, but this is a pretty hefty push. We're going to have to reset once we get that Azali down. We're going to get that Cursebearer right up front, and while our tower is taking damage, if we can clean up this attack, we can definitely recover and get back into things. We're going to do what we talked about here and mana up a little bit, but since we just played Toll of the Dead, that's a really good opportunity to play the Twins once again. And we're a little low, but we're still on our 2 feet, and we're going to get this going again. You can see we backed up the Incubus with the Sniper Scrat. They're a little bit closer together this time, and they'll help defend each other a little bit. The Succubus on the south bridge, however, is going to get completely overrun, but we're a little bit more prepared for Azali this time. We're going to play a little bit of distraction, get through those shields with the Fire Imp, and even though there is a healing fireball right there, we're able to just get a lot of damage in from the Sniper Scrat across the bridge, from the Dragon Whelp, from the Fire Imp. We have a lot of damage coming from a lot of places, and we're able to burn through that. Being able to get through that first push and have a plan of attack is a big part of beating Azali, so just keep that in mind. Anytime you see Commander Azali decks, you see those Blood Imps coming across the battlefield, make sure you have a plan of attack, especially the second time around for what you're going to do. Alright, so we're going to actually move our twins to the south bridge and play defense in a different way right here. And probably should have gone a different route. It is important to get your book out quickly. You don't want to sit on Morellia's perk for too long, as that's a good way to waste it, so to speak, as you won't be able to, you get to play it every 25 seconds, so holding it will not add to that time. But that was one of those times where we needed to make sure we got the call right. And here we're going to do Fire Imp. Once again, we're going to get that distraction and just let that take care of the shields. Those shields are very difficult to deal with, but Swarm and AoE are good ways to deal with them and make sure that the shields are neutralized. We're going to get our twins out again. This time, I wanted them out a little bit quicker so we could deal with the threat without it becoming something that could take care of both of them. So there are going to be moments where you need to kind of expedite it. Maybe you don't get to wait till you're at 10 mana to play them. That was one of those spots. And we're going to get some skeletons across the bridge. And the main thing we're trying to do here is get our Spectral Essence to 20 so that our Toll of the Dead is going to become especially devastating. And this is actually a spot where we're going to start kind of waiting on it a little bit. And we're looking at, yep, there it goes. We've hit 20. And as you can see right there, it's summoning all of the dead Toll of the Dead units to come back to the life. And as they kind of add up on the battlefield, it's just going to be an even more massive attack. All right, we've got a dragon on the north bridge, and we have a dragon of our own. So what we're going to do is wait for it to get over here, and we have it at a reduced cost, which is awesome. And we're going to have the dragons go to battle against each other. We're going to get a Fire Imp behind that, and then Toll of the Dead once again to just take care of the dragon and get as much damage in as possible, but it'll actually be our Shars'Rakk Twins at the tower that will get us the victory. This was a case here where the Toll of the Dead added up and it just became a random big burst of DPS that spread out across the battlefield, and it makes the battles more chaotic. Usually there's going to be a couple of those that are near the tower. There's usually going to be a couple in the middle of the battlefield, so it just creates a lot of challenging matchups all over the place for your opponent. Alright, let's collect our rewards and check out our Volco deck. And this one right here is going to be playing on the low mana cost primarily. However, we've added some cards that are going to give it a little bit of a defensive value. So this plays a little bit more like a mid-range deck than it is a low mana deck, but it will still take care of the perk 1 from Volco pretty well. So we're going to see how that all works out. Alright, I'm feeling especially invincible right now, so let's get right into this next match. I feel like it's a victory for sure, so we're going to go grab those two bridges and... Hey, wait a second. Cleavers, where are you? And, I think I know what this means, and... Okay, yeah, alright, well, at least we made it 13 seconds. Alright, well, on to the next one, because that's gonna happen sometimes. I like to leave that last one in just because I thought it was a little funny. That was the fastest disconnect I've ever had. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. And once again, as we were talking about before, getting those bridges early is important in this deck because we really just want to get to that first perk so we can kind of let things start getting rolling. And a big part of that is making sure that we control the bridges. We're going to defend with the warrior right there. You can see the Toll of the Dead is left there. We're going to follow that with a Sniper Scrat, and we got a Colossus on the field, so hopefully we can get some shots in with that Scrat. You know, Colossuses are big and bulky and they kill lots of things, so whatever your plan is usually going to involve multiple things. So we're going to get a couple extra hits in before that's the end of the sniper. We will get a Dragon Whelp to do some more damage, and we've already gotten half its health done as it crosses the bridge, so it's not necessarily terrible. And we're going to go ahead and slow it down right there with a Illusory Cleaver, and right there is a really useful way to use it. It's distraction right there. Slow something down, let other things DPS. Bridges are a good use, but a little bit of damage and just a little bit of distraction is really useful 1 mana right there. Alright, so we've got a Sniper Scrat going on the south bridge. We're also going to get some Propeller Scrats and another Cleaver right there. And our goal at this point in time is to control the south bridge. As you can see, it's marked, and that means every time we play a card, we're going to be doing 60 damage to their hero. So it's going to be in our best interest to play as much as we can when the south bridge is marked without it becoming restrictive to our ability to defend. We've got another Colossus coming up, and as you can see, it's wrecking all kinds of things we're sending on the battlefield. We're going to do the Dragon Whelp once again, and this is just one of our better solutions that we're going to have for quick damage is that combination of the Whelp and the Sniper, and we're going to get as much out of these Cleavers as we can and as much damage from our Sniper Scrat as we can. And we're going to finish this off with a Fireball, but we also have some damage getting done to our tower, so this is not necessarily a great spot. Alright, we've hit perk 2, so we are going to have the ability to burn up those bridges, and this is a good spot for it. It actually would have been better a little bit earlier, but that's the way this game goes sometimes. Things happen quickly. The Dragon Whelp is going to get a lot of value right here at the North Bridge, taking care of a couple of ground units, and we're going to start a push here on the South Bridge as well. And we're going to go ahead and grab that bridge and then start the cycle of playing things to get some damage in on their tower. And this is kind of part of playing Volco, is going to be managing control with that 60 damage that you're getting each time you play a card. A lot of Volco decks would play even more 1 mana cards, but this plays a little bit more mid-range, as we mentioned before, so you don't get to get quite as many Volco hits from the perk, but you will get more damage in maybe from your minions overall, so it can play a little bit easier than some of the lower cost decks that are maybe a little bit more on the control side. Alright, we're going to burn those bridges right there and get some damage in. We're going to play a little bit of distraction as well and let that Sniper Scrat get some hits in right there. This is a good spot too for our Cleavers because they can clean up some of that, but we didn't get it down in time that time, and I was actually hoping to keep our Sniper Scrat, but that didn't happen there. Alright. We'll get an attack going. We were able to save our Sniper Scrat on the North Bridge, and we're going to get a push going. And as you can see, we've got that South Bridge, and we're going to get things in full effect. We just saw a Beam of Doom, so I know they're down 7, and we're going to push it a little bit extra right here and get a few extra minions on the battlefield. This is a time when we know they're low on mana, and we can do a few things without having to worry about them countering right away. We're going to go ahead and get some fire down on that bridge and just maintain control of it, drop those cheap units, and just control that bridge. We're going to defend our tower with some Propeller Scrats right there and pretty much finish this one off with a little bit of Volco direct damage. Going straight to the face, and we're going to go ahead and burn that bridge early to get the victory. So in that one, we had a mix of control and defense is what's going to get us there, and that plays a mix of mid-range to low-cost units to keep those Volco perk damage coming in. Alright, we've hit our battle chest right there, so hooray. And we're going to take a look at our final deck, Double Dragon, and definitely some rumors out there that the dragons are going to be nerfed. There was definitely talk out there about sizing and all of that, so we're going to see what's going to happen. But for now, let's take a look. This is going to be working off of Navir Slumbers and Navir the Fallen with Morellia's third perk. Alright, we've got ourselves a duel against Mordor, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And as you can see, Navir Slumbers right there. This is an important one. I find it to be highly underrated because it can actually get some good mana exchanges for you. It's good for flyers, it's great against things like Sniper Scrats, and it can actually get the dual Sniper Scrats, as well as a couple of 4 mana minions, as well as activate your Accursed Ascension sooner. So this is a good card to really look for where the value is going to be. And you can see right there, we're going to get that sniper. There might be better options for us as this match goes on, but I'll take that right there. Sniper Scrats can do a lot of damage and they can be difficult to deal with. So I'll take that exchange and I'll take the free soul. Get that Spectral Essence going. Alright, so they have a Succubus down that's doing all kinds of damage to our stuff, as well as a Dragon Whelp, and they're going to start their push going to our side. We're going to get a Cursebearer down, and once again, we're going to be focusing on the skeletons to activate Accursed Ascension sooner. This was also, or I thought it was a good spot until I got tricked by an Illusory Cleaver, but that would have been a good spot for the Cleaver. Alright, we're going to go with a Baraha right there and take care of the Succubus and just protect it throughout the battlefield. This is a great card actually against the Defenso Chopper as well. We're going to end up using our A.I M Bot instead to take care of it, which also works very well. The main thing is you just don't want to be meleeing that because it doesn't do much good. Alright, we have a Fireball hitting us on that south bridge, and we're getting a Cleaver doing all kinds of damage to us, but we'll steal its soul right there. Might have actually been better to take care of this Sniper Scrat, but we'll take care of it with a Chain Lightning. Not a positive mana exchange for us, but I thought it was worth it if you consider that we were able to get the Defenso Chopper down with Morellia's damage before it even got there. Alright, we're going to get some skeletons down. I like skeletons for dealing with the tank because they swarm it and it's got to hit each one individually. Unfortunately, we didn't get that black hole down quick enough, so we're going to A.I M Bot these once. This gets a little bit closer to the tower and is damageable, and this is actually a better counter to the Succubus than Baraha was, which we used earlier. We're also going to get some extra value here from the Defenso Chopper and then go the Stun Lancer route after the shield right here. So that was just us using the Stun Lancer, the shield, so that we could protect the Stun Lancer, and it ended up making them have to force that Fireball basically. Alright, we're going to get some skeletons down right here, and that's going to be our way to deal with the Cleaver as well as get us closer to that Accursed Ascension. This is actually where I like to use Baraha, and that's to take care of the Defenso Chopper. And as you can see, we're going to get some double value because the tank is coming, and although this deck is very expensive, it has some very good counters to the things that you're going to go up against, and it takes use of Morellia's perks pretty well, so you are getting some good value there. We're going to go ahead and take this, or attempt to take this south bridge once we get this Succubus down and get that push going to the other side. As you can see, we're getting closer to Accursed Ascension, but we're not quite there yet. But we are at the point where maybe we want to sit. Yep, there we go. We hit 20 just now. Whenever you get to 18, 19, it's time to maybe slow down on the Navir Slumbers and get ready to wake them up from that slumber. Alright, we're going to slow that cleaver down with Braha and some skeletons, and we're just looking for a good opportunity to steal a soul and get our dragon in rotation. And so far this match has been all defense, and one of the things about this deck is you are building toward the third perk, so it can at times be a little bit of a defensive match until you get to that point where you can overwhelm them. Alright, we've got a strong push coming on that south bridge. We're going to back it up with a couple of stun lancers that will hopefully get there in time to save us from that cleaver and at least force that fireball. Sometimes you can't kill the minion that you want to kill, but if you can force a fireball or something like that, that can be a positive as well. We're actually going to let that cleaver get a little bit closer, see if we can kill it. I decided to sacrifice the stun lancer rather than take the damage. And dragon number 1 is going down. And we're going to get ready for dragon number 2. We're going to put that right on top of that succubus and start building toward a double dragon push. And as you can see right here, we've got stun lancers at the tower, we've got a dragon on the north bridge doing AoE all over the place, we've got A.I.M Bot backing that up, and we've got a Morellia perk backing everything up, as well as a cheap chain lightning. This is a devastating push. Everything is stunned right there. Dragons are doing damage to everything. This is exactly what you're hoping for when you get double dragon. And we're going to finish off that tower for the victory. A devastating push is what that is all about. Alright, we've got another victory, and we'll take a quick look at our rewards before we wrap things up. One of the things we didn't get a chance to get to in this video is going to be the changes in the ladder system. There will be a new rank higher than Grandmaster in patch 1.4, so look for an update on that in the future. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please like and subscribe, or leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to get back to you. That does it for today's video. Thank you again for watching.